Eat dark chocolate. I'm not even gonna do the tech this week. The news sucks, y'all. It really does. It sucks, Max. This entire episode is like Rant 30. Dark chocolate, 86%. Yes, dark like black metal, dark like my heart, dark like my soul. It's so good. I can't stop eating this dark chocolate. Thank you. Oh, it's open mic night around here? We'll go out later. Put on your leather pants and your musk. We're going downtown, boys. Okay. Windows 8 is out. That was a party thing, you know. We couldn't afford one. Couldn't be bothered to go down to the store either. So, happy 0th birthday there, Windows 8. And we like to call it Windows Hate, and we're going to call it that until Service Pack 1 comes out. I'm not going to condone that anyone buys this until Service Pack 1 comes out, because there's a lot of issues. There's like some driver issues. Also, the TCP stack is rewritten, so that kind of worries me. What else is going on with it? Oh yeah, you can't mess with your host file, but I don't know, maybe there'll be a crack for that soon. But just know that if you're going to mess with your host file, you can't do it on Windows 8. Other than that, I do like...
You got to edit the registry or something, because it's like weird. Yeah,
I do like the new File Explorer quite a bit, and the new desktop is nice. The desktop environment is nice. There's a few features that I'm jealous, about, but...
We got a Surface on the way, and we're going to review that. We're gonna try really hard to review that fairly.
A wild Surface has appeared.
Rafflecopter.
This is the second take, guys. The first take, it was too hot. We had to put a fan in here. I was like, it's hot.
In all fairness, we may have made it too hot in here because we were freaking out about the news.
The news is bad. Let's just do it. Zynga, they're down $52 million.
Well, no surprises there.
Yeah. Well, I said that they're on the way out. Everyone's like, no, they're still making lots of money. This is like, they're still up. I mean, no. Some of their key talent is left. They had to fire 100 employees. The stuff sucks, guys. Come on.
It costs too much in Farmville to hire level 13 pig warlocks.
Yes, it does. I mean, old women are going to get tired of paying $14 for pig warlocks. Whatever. Mark my words. In a couple years, we're not going to be talking about this company anymore. Maybe 5 years. Mark them. And you guys can argue. iPad. Someone has made a little chart here.
The short version is they're complaining about pixel density.
Yes,
but
the pixel density.
They wanted a Retina display in 7 inches at 2560 by whatever that is.
It's still 720p.
Or no, they wanted a 2048 by 1536.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
The pixel density on the Nexus 7 is higher, and even on the Nuke HD is higher, and they're smaller screens, but it looks okay, and people are going to buy it, so I think everybody should stop complaining.
Yeah, it'll actually look better this way. The reason that Apple did that is a totally pragmatic choice to make it work with all the old applications. They couldn't introduce a third resolution. It's just not... Whoever thinks they can do that is just silly.
I feel like you guys are joining me for dinner, so I'm just eating chocolate for dinner. The problem here is the price, because it's way more expensive than the Nexus 7. So I'm still going to pick the Nexus 7 as my tablet of choice. And, Toshiba and Asus have some offerings,
A rumor has it there's going to be a 10-inch Nexus that has a 2560 by 1600 resolution. I would like that very much.
That would be wonderful. Dutch courts, speaking of Apple, they said that the Samsung does not infringe on Apple's patent for multi-touch. That's where you take 2 fingers and you touch the device. Well, Apple was like, Samsung cannot touch the device with 2 fingers, only 1 finger. No. If we see this, people outside doing this on a Samsung device, we're going to cut off their little fingers. That's what they said. That's a direct quote from Apple. From what's his name? What's the guy's name? Jeffrey Bloom?
No.
Isn't he someone in the PR department over there? I talked to him on the phone. It's Jeffrey Bloom, I think.
Newer turtleneck guy?
Yeah, he wears turtlenecks.
Turtleneck guy.
There's a bug in here. There's like 6 bugs in here. Who left the door open? So anyway, yeah, the Dutch court said, Apple, that's stupid. Shut up. And Apple was like, oh, God. And then they went home. Another article about Apple that kind of blows my mind. Way back when, this is going to be a quick thing, Apple and like Apple Music or whatever, that's the company.
Apple Records.
Apple Records, yeah, which is Apple Cores. And the Beatles owns that company, or maybe they work with Beatles. I don't know. I don't listen to the Beatles. I'm just slopping this together because I don't care about this episode. I'm just doing a bad job as a journalist. Anyway, way back when Apple came out and their logo and their brand name were very similar to this other company that already existed in Apple Records, and Apple Records was like, hey, Apple, you can't do that. We're going to sue you. They went to court, and the court said, hey, let's compromise. Apple is not allowed to do anything in the entertainment or the music entertainment world. No music ever. It's just a computer company, and that's what it is. And they were like, okay, well, that's fine. And then iTunes comes out, And Apple was like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And they went to court and just buried them in paperwork. And I guess the fight was, lasted a while. And it took a long time for the Beatles to actually show up on iTunes because of that whole bad blood. Well, Apple has kept filing because they wanted to own that logo. It's just an Apple. They own the logo now. After all this time, a company that had an Apple logo that came way before Apple was even, conceived as a company. I caught it. It was a gnat. Right there it is. You see it? Just ninja'd that gnat.
There are people changing their YouTube resolutions right now.
You go back and see if I ninja'd that gnat or not. Where did that gnat come from? Well, it's not a problem anymore. Did you guys know that Google lobbies a lot? We always associate lobbying with evil, like, oh, this company is lobbying.
Well, historically, Google hasn't lobbied.
Yeah, they haven't lobbied much at all. This year, it's so far, last quarter is $4.18 million. The entire year is $13.13 million. That makes them number 7 in the country for lobbying money spent. That's right behind AT&T and then a bunch of other bad people like banks and stuff. But it's... what are they lobbying for? They're lobbying for better infrastructure. They're lobbying for different patent reform. They've got a lot of things they're lobbying for. Well, maybe I'll do an investigation piece or an investigative piece trying to figure out what exactly they're lobbying for. But
Google's had a tough time in Washington because they upset the status quo.
Yeah, but now their dollars are floating around Washington. They realize, well, you know what? We can do whatever we want as long as we give them money. Yeah,
I think it's really sad that it took them so long to realize just how corrupt the system was.
So now they're giving them money. They're like, all right, fine. Listen, we really want to do this. Just take this money, okay? This is kind of funny. There's a video here of a guy. He used to be a crab fisher, and he decided he wanted to build a hovercraft, like an airboat almost. That's kind of what it looks like, but it looks like a DeLorean. There he is. DeLorean-like device there. Why is there a baseball score on the screen? All right, so you guys can watch that video at your leisure. I'm not going to play any more of it. Now we're going to get serious, because the government is getting serious, and we don't really talk about political things, but there is some technology being used for nefarious purposes here, and I thought we should mention it on the show. Even though it's pretty scary, and even though it's pretty dark, let's talk about it, shall we? It's Obama's disposition matrix. Have you guys heard of this, the disposition matrix? Well, right now, there's a kill list, and Obama has been trying very hard. His administration has been trying very hard to extend that. It's basically, fighting terror. And they want to extend that almost indefinitely so that this kill list can always happen. And the way it works, it's basically warrantless. They have a kill list. They generate the kill list. They don't tell people who are on the kill list. And then they take them out silently, and there's no trial, or there's no one's charged with anything. And this is happening right now all over the world, and even to American citizens. American citizens are on this list.
And it's not the first time this kind of thing's happened. There was some stuff declassified about CIA kidnapping random citizens in the 50s as an experiment.
The CIA has their own kill list, and the problem is they've got too many kill lists, and they don't know who to kill. So what they've done is they've created this disposition matrix, and they're using this thing. I guess they're using some programs and some algorithms, and the real goal here is to create a single, continually evolving database. And they look at your biography, your location, some history from your medical records, and then they create sort of a disposition for you. And the software is able to suggest, kill targets, based on random things. And all these things, and we all know that we are being watched right now. We know that everything we do is in a database. We know that they're putting up cameras everywhere. It's turning into 1984 type stuff. But now this program can actually spit out a name. Bob Stephen William for the 17th. I had to say that because I know it's not a real name, and I didn't want to get in trouble. So Bob William Stevenson 7 for the 17th or whatever will come out, and they'll be like, all right, well, let's take a look at this guy. And they'll look at him and be like, yeah, let's take him out. Why not? He's got some guns and some dogs and said a few bad things in 1987 and did this weird thing, and his disposition is such that, he probably is a danger. You think he might be a terrorist.
Hey, what else we got to do today? That's cool.
There's a lot more that goes into this than that, guys, but it's a lot. I mean, the ACLU has been trying to, get some information released on how this matrix works under the Freedom of Information Act, and they've been completely denied. So that's also kind of, I don't know. Wendell, you got anything else to add to this? Because I don't want to get too into this. It's
a really disturbing pattern. I really enjoyed the headline on Reddit today. Is Seattle police to demonstrate some drones that they've picked up. They'll be looking for wood carvers.
Can we find some good news next week, please, people? And send me some good news. This is just insane. So ripping DVDs, something you do all the time. You rip your DVD, you have a copy, and everyone, it's just kind of common knowledge. It's like, well, I bought the DVD. I can rip it and watch it on my computer. And a lot of people rip it and put it on their, hard drives and whatnot. Well, that's now illegal.
Well, it was always illegal. They just now explicitly said, "Oh, by the way, that's illegal."
Yeah, I thought it was more of just a gray area.
Well,
it's no longer a gray area, right?
this was like a hearing that happens every few years that has something to do with the DMCA. It's like there is like exceptions to the DMCA, and they were asking explicitly, "Can we mod game consoles? Is that an exception to the DMCA?
Right.
And can we rip DVDs for personal use, space shift them?
Right.
Is that okay?" And in both cases, the answer was no. That's illegal.
Right. So that's like affecting like people who out there who are makers who want to mod things. If you buy something, I mean, it's my understanding that, or it's my thinking that if you buy something, you should be able to do whatever you want to with it. I mean, open it up, solder something together. But now that's not legal anymore.
You don't own your console anymore.
That's really weird. I mean, what about phones? Because I mean, like you're also not allowed to unlock or hack your tablets.
Yeah, well, it's more bizarre than that. It's almost like they have a glimmer of understanding because a few years ago, they okayed jailbreaking your phone as an exception to the DMCA. So you can jailbreak your phone.
Right.
But you can't jailbreak a tablet. But you can jailbreak your phone, but you can't jailbreak a console. And it's like, okay, so I can jailbreak my phone.
Well, why is your phone okay?
But if my phone's a Galaxy Note,
well, that's a gray area.
Yeah, well, that's a tablet.
Is it a tablet? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't jailbreak a tablet. They said you can't.
That's absurd.
It's completely absurd. And the guy that made this ruling, I guess, was appointed by Reagan.
Here's the funny part. If you have Linux, you're not even allowed to watch your DVDs. You purchase your DVDs, and the DVD's licensed, and you've got a drive, and that drive is licensed to play back the content. But if you have Linux, the software applications are all open source, and they don't have the correct licenses. You're not even legally allowed to play that DVD back now.
Basically, their opinion is that because you don't have a licensed player, even though you have a licensed disc and a licensed drive, you can't play it because you don't have a licensed player.
I can't. I don't even.
I know that our audience is smart enough to know better, but these people, you're like, dig deep. Maybe this is like a long-lost relative or a cousin or something. Call these people up and tell them how stupid they are. Somebody out there is bound to be related to one of these people. Call them. Tell them.
You know, I think I've reached a point where I'm like ready to find a nice spot, mountains, maybe a lake nearby. Give me a garden going, and I'll see you guys later.
You can jailbreak your phone, but not your tablet. That makes complete sense. I totally understand that. That's completely fair and reasonable.
All right. Speaking of things that really hurt your head, Megaupload, they really want to come back online, and one of the reasons being is because there haven't been any like decent case brought against them. They're just shut down, and they like, okay, let us back online, or give us our money back, or something. And the response from the Department of Justice has been pretty ridiculous. There's several different articles here that you guys can look at in regard to all this, but you've done more research on this than I have.
Well, okay, so the judge was like, well, maybe you can get we reported a couple of weeks ago that the judge was like, well, Kim.com, maybe you can get a temporary, temporary order that drops the charges until everything gets in order. And they really want to do that so they can get back their corporate assets and have operational money and money for legal defense. Yeah, their money is still
frozen in like Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
Whatever bank it's in.
Yeah,
not in a U.S. bank, mind you.
Everything is totally frozen.
Right.
And the DOJ, like in their thing today, it reads really unprofessionally.
They got some like kid writing it. They're like, hey, this is Kim.com. We got a 17-year-old intern in here. Oh yeah, Steve's nephew's in the office. Let him write it. That's what it was like. Yeah.
So you read the ruling. It seems pretty vitriolic. And at one point they refer to it as the mega conspiracy.
I love that, the mega conspiracy. Oh, wait, we need T-shirts right now. Do you believe in the mega conspiracy? Would that sell? I mean, would you guys buy a mega?
That would probably sell.
We've got our other George Washington T-shirts coming out like tomorrow or the next day. So you guys better check out those as well. And what was the thing about they said that he couldn't have his money back because then he could potentially use his money to do something nefarious or something like that? What was the reasoning for that?
Yeah, they were saying that all the funds were illicit, but they haven't really presented a case as to why they're illicit. Like, when you rob a bank, it's like, that money's not yours, you can't use it for defense,
Right.
You take it, that makes sense. But this is money that they've been accumulating for the better part of a decade. How does that work?
Well, they just decided that it was illicit, that's how. I mean, it's easy. It's like, that's illicit, you can't have it, no. See?
That makes perfect sense.
That was easy, wasn't it? Have you seen the time?
Rant 30?
The whole
Rant
video-
31.
Yeah, it's about Rant 31. The whole entire video has been Rant 30 so far, but we made a 6 strikes against the 6 strike policy video, and thank you guys for all sharing that. There were some sensational elements, so I'm going to talk about those for a minute. Of course, some of the things I said were completely over the top, but it was to elicit responses, First thing I want to do is touch on something that didn't make the cut of the video, but strike number 7 really was the fact that all of the big media companies that are involved in the CRA, the MPAA, and all the other companies that are involved, they are protecting themselves. They're doing this under the guise of protecting content creators and copyright holders, but Zweihander, the CD that you guys can pick up and help out Tech Syndicate if you like, that is not going to be protected. If you guys share that on a torrent website, I really don't care if you do. I think it's really cool that you share it. I hope everyone gets to hear it, and I don't care if they get, I don't care if you share it with thumb drive or you put it on a torrent site. I'm going to make a couple dollars off of it just by it spreading, but I'm not going to be protected. So the little guy is totally left out of this entire thing, which kind of, in a way, defeats the purpose of what they claim they want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Mark Monitor is like, who are you again? What do you want? No, I'm sorry, we're not interested.
No, you're a little guy. What are you, Steve Cobalt with Steve Cobalt and the guitar experience? No.
There are 6 companies that control virtually all media. This is about those 6 companies. This is not about independent artists. This is not about creators.
So the sensational points where I was saying things like, listen guys, just totally ignore everything that comes out of Hollywood and don't listen to their crap and don't buy all their crap anymore. I know that that's never going to happen, and I've been talking to people that are like, are you kidding me? I'm still going to go see movies. Well, that's fine. I know you're still going to go see movies. I'm going to try not to as much as I possibly can. But the point is here, what we need to be doing is using the internet to explore and expand our culture. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to do, really, is to get out there and explore, find some independent artists. I mean, one of the best days in my life was when I was sitting there and I was listening to, driving around, I was listening to Slipknot for the 900th time on the radio because I don't own their albums. And I was like, God, this sucks. And I'm so sick of Metallica. Just all I have is the radio. And this was several years ago, by the way. But I went to my computer and I sat down and I typed, American metal sucks. And I pushed enter. And I ended up on a German website. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much good metal out there. And I found probably 4,000 amazing independent artists. So that's what I want to encourage you guys to do, is explore it a little bit, expand your horizons, and then you won't be so reliant on their nonsense. Whether it's good nonsense or bad nonsense, that's up to you guys. And I know some people were like, I love Nicki Minaj, and you guys are wrong for doing that, but that's okay. You can be wrong. You're allowed to be.
And you can share that with your friends, and it'll be a story.
Yes. But that's really what I want to say there. So it wasn't a very ranty Rant 30, I guess. One of the things that I touched upon that was kind of hearsay, that's now come out as not being so much hearsay, is the fact that they are going to charge you $35 if you get... who's going to do that? That's
what the head of the copyright, at least Ars Technica,
the Center for Copyright Information.
Yeah, Ars Technica reported that that organization, their rep, told Ars Technica that there's going to be a $35 mitigation fee at some point in the strike process.
So there'll be a $35 fee that you'll have to pay, and you can get the $35 back if you
win.
Yeah, if you defeat the review process.
You ever play a carnival game?
Oh, speaking of beating a review process, the tag 0001 got taken down by Fox.
Wow.
Because we put a little piece of a trailer for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and then I said, oh, this looks pretty crazy, right? And it was totally fair use because I'm not damaging the market at all. In fact, I'm enhancing the market by sharing that with people, saying, this is ridiculous, guys, look. But Fox did that. Anyway, I submitted my appeal, and this week we won. Fox released the copyright.
Wow.
So now we can use it. I thought that was pretty cool.
That only took 6 months.
It did take 6 months. It was unbelievable. Now the video's back online and our YouTube account is back in good standing. Thank God. I went on YouTube and I was like, ooh, 3 green lights, good standing, yay, no copyright violations. I was like,
It's like they push a button, and in order to respond to their push of a button, you have to flail about like a madman. This is unacceptable.
Indeed. You see AMD has a tablet coming out?
No.
It's an APU-based tablet, the AMD Z63. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to be capable of running Windows 7 or Windows 8. So I thought I should mention that. It's going to be like a 10.1-inch tablet. Looks pretty cool. I'll put a link to the article here. It's only 1366 by 768. So
AMD's got some power management breakthroughs that look really promising.
I really like a lot of their small form factor stuff and a lot of their system on chip stuff. It all is really nice. I like the way they're going with that. The Geode is great. We use those a lot for small things. Those are very small though. And also we have this in. You know what this is? It's an 8350 right there. We're gonna be playing with that, but we don't have a motherboard for it just yet. So this one's nice, and at the price point, it does compete head-on with the similar Ivy Bridge i5 in a lot of areas. Not so much in gaming, but I haven't seen too many gaming benchmarks. There's been some games that are way out there. We're gonna really put it through a few tests and let you guys know what we think. So that's pretty cool.
Media encoding, it was really awesome.
Yes, H.264 encoding. It even beats the Ivy Bridge i7, so that is about $100 more expensive. So that's nice. If you're doing media encoding and stuff like that, it could be a really good way to go. I can't exactly condone it for all gaming just yet.
But we're going to try.
But I do condone it for rendering and that sort of thing. All right. So now you know the UN wants to shut down the internet. Have you seen this?
Because terrorists might use it because it's too open?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like control freaks at all.
Yeah, so now the UN. I'm going to skip it because I don't want to be in a bad mood. But
you know, honestly, like amateur radio operators could do the same thing. I mean, you can get packet radio around the world, and yeah, it's slower
amateur
than Christmas.
What? You mean terrorists?
Yeah, it's like you have your ham radio license, you terrorist.
Let's talk about science. Science is like the one area that still makes me happy. You know, because the whole world may be like dying and on fire, and then science is like, but we're like exploring the solar system and stuff, guys. Hey. And we're making some new technologies for you guys to use. Maybe in a few years you can kill each other with it, but right now it's not designed for that. Hey. That's science. So anyway, over at the European Southern Observatory, they put together a 9 billion pixel image of the galaxy. And it's going to take about 9 billion years to come up on the screen, it seems. There it is. Billions of stars. I counted them all today. That's why I'm so tired. I've been eating chocolate.
You almost channeled Sagan there for a second. Billions and billions.
Billions and billions. My mind is full of billions and billions of stars.
Oh, what a glorious dawn.
Yep. Oh, thorium. They're about to actually construct a thorium-fueled nuclear power plant in India.
You heard it here first.
That's right, thorium. It's the way to go. Why can't we use thorium everywhere else?
Because we're stupid.
They've been planning this for several...
Too long to reach critical.
That's like 4 or 5 years. I mean, it'll be, critical and...
Well, no, I was saying to get thorium to be critical and usable, it takes a while.
It takes a while.
But it works way better than heavy metal.
Yeah. I mean, thorium, it's safe, it's efficient, you can't build bombs out of it.
Molten salt reactors are naturally safe.
It's quite a way to go. So take a look at that article there. I think it's really awesome that India is doing that. I mean, let's be frank here. The real reason they're doing it is they don't have a lot of access to uranium. I mean, like very little access to uranium, and certainly not enough to power that power grid because they have a lot of power issues. They're always short, and they always have to import uranium. So instead of being reliant upon all these other countries for uranium, they're going with thorium because thorium is naturally occurring there. In fact, they've got like a huge amount of the world's uranium right there. I mean, not uranium. A huge amount of the world's thorium is right there in India. So that's one major reason they're doing it.
Unless the CIA blows them up, there will be box truck-sized thorium reactors in 25 years.
Let's talk about gaming, shall we? I want you guys to join us in Chivalry. Yeah, pretty soon we'll I think I'm going to put up can we use the thing for a Chivalry server? Try to do things? We can throw a show. Well, yeah, we'll do that. We'll get a Chivalry server going because it's so much fun. It is ridiculous. Max, what's your favorite weapon so far?
The big hammers.
The big hammers. Max likes the big hammers. I like the big swords. And Pistol's on there playing all the time. You guys will see her streaming. I think I'll give away a couple copies, shall we? Yeah, here's what we're going to do. In the description here, there's going to be a forum topic, and it's going to say win a copy of Chivalry. Now, what you have to do to win this is you have to come up with the best medieval taunt. And the 2 best medieval taunts, after we get, like... I'm going to start looking at these after we get, like, over 50. You know, I want a lot of good ones. I'm going to look at all these things, and I'll give away 2 copies of Chivalry so you guys can play with this. And as far as the medieval taunts go, I mean, you guys can be lewd if you want to. I don't care, but I'm just going to tell you right now that if you're just talking about, like, penises and stuff, I'm probably not going to consider yours because that's not as funny to me as something that's a little more well thought out.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
Yes, something a little Monty Python-esque might just pique my interest enough to give you a free copy of the game. Also, you know what? I've got some copies of a few different things. Mark of the Ninja. Does anybody want a copy of Mark of the Ninja? I've been playing that. I've been trying to do a review on that. My play has been... I've been playing too much Chivalry. I need to play Mark of the Ninja because I got it so I could review it, but it's like... I'll get that done like immediately. So, Mark of the Ninja, if you guys want a copy of that, I've got a question for you. The current Bujinkan Ninja Master, his name is Hatsume, and he's been a master for quite a while now. I want you guys to, there'll be another topic in the description here that says win a copy of Mark of the Ninja. Go in there, the first person to tell me how he became the current Ninja Master. I want the story, you know, it's like a paragraph, so just do it. Find it online if you can, maybe you can't, if you guys know where to find these things. How did he become the current Ninja Master? Let me know, and I'll give you guys a copy of Mark of the Ninja. And you can be a ninja in a video game. So that's it. Yeah, those are fun games. Is there anything else in the gaming world, Max, that's going on? There's like no games out right now. I don't know.
It's
Chivalry,
dry.
it's pretty much chivalry, right? What?
Yeah, it's pretty dry right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the 7 apps in the Windows Surface store.
Oh, they're gonna be amazing. They've got the one that's like cut the rope or something. Have you seen that? Oh my God, it's so terrible.
Angry Windows logos.
They're all rated G or PG, aren't they? You can't have anything that's like rough around the edges. No. All right, guys. So crazy week. I thank you guys all for sharing the Six Strikes video. Even though some bits of it were sensationalized, I think that's kind of part of what we do here. You know, and I don't think many of you misunderstood.
Doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah, I don't think exactly, and I don't think many of you really misunderstood my my overall meaning there, right? I think you guys got it.
Because it really is as terrible as we make it out to be.
It is. It's probably a little bit worse. We're actually trying to be happy about it. Subscribe. You guys want to subscribe? If you haven't subscribed, go ahead. Thank you to all the new members who just subscribed from the last video. And if you like it, share it. I don't care. Just do whatever you want. I mean, it's really up to you guys. Whatever. Yeah. See you guys next time.